This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I am Benchwarmer Emeritus Dan, and I am here for our fourth annual Fireside Trivia Chat thing that we decided to do 4 years ago. And I'm here with the original group that has been doing this the whole time. I'm here with Gary Middleton. How are you doing tonight, Gary?
Doing great. Glad to be back. Every year is another triumph, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here with Graig Zethner. How are you doing, Greg?
Doing good. Glad to see you, Dan. It's been a year since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been. And I'm here with Scotty B. Scott Barber. How are you tonight?
Doing well, sir. It's been not a year since I've seen you.
A couple months.
A couple months, But it's been too long, though. So it's good to see your smiling face once again, sir.
And we also have with us tonight, he asked to be here, and I said, you know what? Why not? Let's have him in. And it's the guy that put this whole thing together in the first place, Matt Doherty. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was gonna say something and now I forgot. Now I'm gonna edit this part out. Okay, great. Sure.
So
you
we're
guys
gonna
said
edit
something originally, and I was like, okay, well, yeah. Never mind. Okay, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. We're sitting here in my parlor with the fireplace going, keeping warm. It's a chilly, rainy night here in Locust, North Carolina. So,
well, I was going to say that last year we recorded this on the 10th of December, and it's the 10th of December that we're recording it on this year. Wow. So I thought that was kind of crazy when I sent out the invite this morning. It was to the day, so.
I'm not going to try and do that again next year. Just for happy little accidents. All right. So if you recall having listened to the show before, all we're going to do is we're just going to ask ourselves some questions. We're going to ask. We're going to go around the horn and ask questions. Except for this year, instead of going from person to person with one question each, everyone's going to do all 5 of their questions at once, and just go around the room. So I may actually start this one off this year because mine are going to be kind of not a palate cleanser, but like a first course. Because I don't expect you to really know the answers to these questions except by clues in the questions. You should be able to get all the answers to these questions by the questions themselves. But Matt is here as someone who's going to be able to help out on this because all 5 of my questions this year are going to be about the Australian Football League, my favorite new league to love. It's right behind the NFL for me right now, above everything else. But all of these questions are going to be gettable for you, and you'll see why when I ask the questions. All right. So let's start with our first one. The current premiers, or champions as we call it, are the Lions. And they have enjoyed a recent home field advantage as of late, as they are nearly impossible to beat in their home stadium of the Gabba. The Lions are currently the only team to reside in this city of over 2.5 million people, making the Lions fans the furthest north team in the competition. Which city is the home of the Lions?
Well, furthest north in Australia is definitely Darwin. I don't know if they have 2.5 million or not.
Yeah, the only other one I would think would be maybe Brisbane, but if Darwin has a team, it would be further north. And I want to say I've heard there are 4 or 5 cities in Australia that have at least 1 million, and Darwin is one of them.
So just as a little hint to kind of throw you off of that one, Gary, a couple of teams did play some games in Darwin as kind of like a test run this last season, including my Cats. But yeah, so Darwin doesn't currently have an AFL team, but I have a feeling that within the next 5 or 6 years, if expansion continues like they're planned out, they probably will.
Okay, so you're saying if we wait, we might get this right.
I was just going to say, if how long do we have to answer this question again?
I'll tell you, the furthest south is actually going to be joining in a couple of years, but they're not in yet. And Hobart is going to have a team. But
Sure. There you go.
Currently, I think Geelong is the furthest south. if I
yes,
recall
they are.
correctly.
Yeah.
But
So anyway, Greg, yeah, I think then you're right with Brisbane is probably the next furthest north along the coast there.
Yeah, because all the other big cities I think are along the southern coast or
just barely north of the southern coast. Yeah, exactly. And Perth is out there, but it's not really very far north. So I'm liking Brisbane.
yeah.
I'll go with whatever you guys say.
all right, your answer is Brisbane. It's the Brisbane Lions. One of the teams that both Matt and I do not like. But
Correct. I think
but
the second most northern one would be Gold Coast.
don't
right?
say it. Well, it's fine. I wasn't going to ask. I wasn't going to ask it. I
All
was
right.
not going to ask that question. But yes,
Okay.
Gold Coast is just south of Brisbane.
Yeah.
And there is a team there, Gold Coast Suns. So, all right. So number 2, the Lions' opponent in the grand finals were the Sydney Swans, who were unceremoniously dismissed in a dubbing in that game. As you can imagine, in a city the size of Sydney, there is more than one team for the locals to get behind. The other team is the up-and-coming one, and it's out of Greater Western Sydney, or GWS, as they're called in AFL circles. They wear their distinctive orange, black, and white Guernseys. Those are jerseys for what we know them as. And they have the nickname of an American Big Four team that also wears those colors. However, GWS is a relatively recent addition to the AFL in 2010. Their namesake is much older, established nearly 130 years earlier. What is the name of the GWS club?
Well, Bengals comes first to mind. I know that's their colors, orange, black, and white. Tigers, I believe, is it has some orange, but they've also got blue in there. But orange, black, and white are definitely colors for the Cincinnati Bengals. So Bengals is an option.
Are you saying that the team we're looking to name is named after an American team that's 100 or no,
I thought it shares the name.
Shares the name, yeah.
That's 130 years older?
130 years older than the GWS.
Okay.
team.
I wanted to make sure I understood that.
So 130 years older. I don't think the Bengals have been around that long.
So you're saying that the namesake is 130 years older and not this Australian team, right?
Not this Australian. This Australian team was formed in 2010.
Yeah.
The team that we are trying to figure out.
That's definitely not the Bengals then, because
130
Bengals
years
were founded
older
in
than
like 69.
Feeling like the Orioles potentially then, hey?
Oh, Orioles is a great guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Orioles were the Browns.
Orioles they were founded as not the Orioles, but they were, I thought they were like the Browns, and then there were several other teams before they became the Orioles, but they're an old team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They just haven't always been the Orioles. Yeah.
The original Baltimore team became the Highlanders and then the Yankees.
Yeah, and
That's
I don't
right,
know
the
if
original
other sports
Baltimore
go
team.
back that deep, right?
Yeah, we're looking for something from the 1800s. And I think we can rule NFL, NBA out. I think hockey, other than the first 6, which none of them have those colors, we can rule that out. So that just leaves baseball and, yeah, Orioles. That's all
I think, yeah.
Or
I think
Tigers.
it's it. Yep.
And yeah, and if we're going to go with when they were founded, then the St. Louis Browns in 1880 kind of makes the best sense to me.
Yeah. Same here. I like it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna send this over to Matt for just a second. But I want to tell you that you're on the right track of teams that have moved around, but it is not the Orioles.
Wow. Okay.
Matt, do you want to fill them in, or do you want to let them try to go a little bit?
Sure. Well, I mean, how about same color scheme? Think West Coast, and this team
For the Giants.
made a big
For the
move.
Giants.
Yeah.
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 So the Giants.
GWS.
Okay.
Of course.
It's the Great Western Sydney Giants.
Oh yeah, that makes sense then. Yep.
And then Dan, I don't know if were you going to talk about the origins of the Swans? So you know
I
where
was
they came
not.
from, right? Okay.
I was not. You can go ahead with that if you
Were
want.
they founded as the Ugly Ducklings?
Yeah.
They're another
No,
team that Matt and I don't like either.
oh,
So
yeah. I think my most hated team, pretty close to the
there's another
Magpies and the
team that
Swans are
will.
pretty
Yeah.
much A and B. But yeah, so the Sydney Swans, who I cannot stand, started off as a VFL team in Victoria as a South Melbourne. I think they had a different name though too, didn't they? I can't remember that, but yeah, South Melbourne. I know they weren't called the Swans too. They were called something else. I can't remember, but yeah, just the football team.
Hmm.
But
That's and speaking of Victorian Football League, which is where we're going right now for question 3. The AFL used to be known as the VFL, as the founding members of the league were all located in Victoria. Currently, 6 Victoria clubs play their home games at the same stadium, one of the largest and most historical venues in the world. What is the name of the stadium that is nearly 175 years old and is currently the 11th largest stadium in the world? And there's going to be a bonus here. If you can name any of the 6 teams that play their home games at this stadium, you can go for as many as you want.
I believe this is the Melbourne Cricket Ground, or the G, I think it's known as. Um, couldn't name any of the teams that played there, though.
Right?
I would say the Kangaroos.
And if not the
I'm
Kangaroos,
close.
the Joeys. Then let's go with the Joeys.
yeah.
Funny
They will be playing
enough,
the VFL. Yeah.
the Roos don't play there. They play at a different stadium, which is named after a very, very large multimedia company owned by Disney. Funny enough, they play at Marvel Stadium.
Oh, so deep pockets? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Yeah. Kangaroos.
I'm interested to hear what the 6th one is. Are you counting? Are you counting my squad as the
No,
6th
I'm not.
team?
I'm
Okay,
not. I'm
thank
not.
you.
Anybody who knows me would know who one of them is.
Yeah.
So let's go with since they're at a cricket stadium, let's go with the Crickets.
The Crickets, the Jiminy
Yeah,
Crickets.
sure. The Jiminy's.
Yeah, the Jiminies, the Melbourne Jiminies.
Three of these teams are named after Big Four teams and in 3 different leagues. One is one that we've already talked about. It's the Tigers, Richmond Tigers. In basketball, there's there's not, this is AFL, but it's the Hawthorne Hawks.
Oh, Hawthorne was the 6th. I was thinking.
Yep. Carlton Blues is one. My team, the Melbourne Demons, play there. The Essendon Bombers also play there. And the team that nobody likes, except for like everybody that we know, which is crazy, the Collingwood Magpies. They're the Yankees and the Cowboys and the Lakers and Alabama, and yeah, that's all of that.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right, so question 4. One of those mentioned teams, the Richmond Tigers, have had a rough go of it recently, even though they are less than 10 years removed from winning 3 premierships in 4 years. They've had a fire sale this offseason and had a lot of draft capital going into last month's draft. Unfortunately, one of those picks was the number 1 overall pick, which is awarded to the team with the worst record in the league. That team is also annually said to have been given another award, which is a dubious prize. It's named after a ubiquitous kitchen utensil, which is used in traditional preparation of risotto. But maybe it should be used to punish the president of the team who receives it every year. What is the award?
I like that one.
Yeah, so I've made risotto, and I don't know what a traditional instrument to make it is. I'm guessing it's some sort of beater that's used to stir the rice.
No.
Is it maybe a rolling pin of some sort, or
Not for risotto. And
Now,
risotto,
do they drain it or anything? Could it be like a sieve in, hockey?
strainer?
yeah, I don't know why that would be used to beat. I don't know how that clue fits in with a strainer or colander, but yeah, that
Hmm.
I'm but when you make risotto, it's arborio rice, and kind of slowly add the liquid and keep stirring it in. So I'm guessing there's a specific name for the stirrer,
A
maybe.
whisk? Is that a whisk?
Spatula.
Like I said before, this is ubiquitous. Every one of you has one in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're going a little too specific.
Maybe it's
maybe
just a beater. Yeah.
or beater or spoon or something.
Well,
Oh,
Blydsburg.
Explore that.
Hmm.
The wooden spoon.
There it is.
Really?
wooden spoon.
It's called the
Oh,
wooden spoon. Yep.
oh,
The last place team receives the wooden spoon.
oh. Well,
And you use the wooden spoon in traditional risotto
hmm.
because because you have to constantly stir and it doesn't conduct heat.
Oh, yeah. The wooden spoon growing up was the thing you didn't want your parent to go and grab. That
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So finally, last year's wooden spoon winners are the West Coast Eagles, and they used their draft position to significantly improve their standing this year with the addition of the all-world star Harley Reid. Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers are the two teams that reside in or around what major metropolitan area, which was recently the site of the very first major WWE pay-per-view when it hosted the Elimination Chamber in February of 2024. I'd like you to name the city that the Eagles and the Dockers call home, and for a bonus, name the stadium that held the Elimination Chamber. It is named after the second largest telecommunications company in Australia, behind Telstra.
You said that was a West Coast.
It is the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers. Fremantle is a suburb of this area.
Yeah, so Fremantle's a suburb of Perth. I know there's the Fremantle Doctor, I believe, is a famous wind in Australia. Um, but I'm clueless on the stadium or the communications company.
Yeah, same
I,
here.
I
Actually,
figured that the only one of you besides Matt that would maybe know the stadium would be Scott from watching the
yeah,
pay-per-view, if he
can't
remembered
remember. I remember Perth. I don't remember the stadium. Is it like an MTS or something? I'm not sure. It's Metro, like Metro Telecommunication. I'm not sure though. I get the stadiums mixed up here in the States bad enough. I don't need international mind scrambling when it comes to these things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Matt, do you have the answer to the
Isn't it Foxcom?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
shoot. Okay. I'm wrong
Nope.
then.
It is Optus
Oh,
Stadium.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Optus Stadium. Yep.
Hey, Dan, do you
So
mind? I figured in between when you guys do the questions, maybe we could do some Christmas trivia
out of Neil's book.
out of Neil's book about Christmas
Oh,
trivia.
Yeah, throw a couple out there.
Let's throw a couple out
Before
here.
we do that, I'm going
Oh,
to
you have
say
one
that
more?
we're going to go in this order. We're going to go Greg, then Scott, and then finally Gary, because I have a feeling Gary's is going to be the piece de resistance of this.
yeah.
No.
Gary's the good writer
like
out of the.
setting me up to fail.
I'll just do two quick ones here. Do you
All
guys
right.
want to do questions from the Muppet Christmas Carol movie or the movie Elf?
I would know Elf better, but I don't care.
I did just watch a Muppet Christmas Carol like 2 days ago.
Do one of
Oh,
each.
well, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, so from Muppet Christmas Carol, let's see here. What do we got? As the ghost of Christmas past shows Scrooge his old schoolroom aging and decaying, Dickens and Rizzo sit on a shelf containing all but which of the following marble busts? Shakespeare, Aristotle, Dante, Galileo.
Well, that's too specific for me to remember.
Okay.
Mm,
I
maybe
would.
maybe Galileo, because the other ones are right. Aristotle is philosopher, Shakespeare and Dante are writers.
This is
But
the
it
Ghost of
either
Christmas. Who passed?
Yes, passed. Yep, you're right. You're right, Scott. It is
Okay.
Galileo.
Okay.
And then we'll do an elf one real quick here. Buddy leaves the North Pole to meet his father, Walter, who works for what publishing company inside the Empire State Building? Is it Green Line Press, Greenway Press, Green Street Press, or Greenville Press?
It's something with green. I don't remember. The
Not easy
Greenway
being
sounds
green.
the most familiar.
Greenway was the one I was gonna say too, but
It's a D. Greenville Press.
Oh.
oh,
I've
So-
never seen Elf.
really,
Oh,
Yeah. One of the
Hmm.
ones that's just slipped by me. Yeah.
Boy,
I don't mind it.
it's one of those ones where I think the reason it's so good is because it's not cynical and it's just goofy.
And
Right.
Will Ferrell is, yes, way over the top like he usually is, but it fits with this
Right.
character, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen clips and I know a few things about it, but I've just never watched it.
yeah, I've only seen bits and pieces. I know it's both of my kids' favorite movie, and for that reason, I'm not going to watch. Just to spite them.
I think there's two I watch every year. One of them, and Christmas Vacation is the other.
I just watched Bad Santa the other day, so that's one of my favorites.
All right, we're going to move on to Greg, and I'm really looking forward to what you've given to us, Greg.
Okay, so we're gonna leave Australia and go to North America now. I was trying to study up on the names of some of the teams in like the WNBA and the Women's Soccer League and the MLS as well this year. So I made a table of all the teams in those three leagues plus the Big Four, and I laid it out with the cities on one side and then the leagues on the other axis. And I noted that there are 12 cities or metro areas, since some teams play in suburbs, that have only one team in those 7 leagues. So it's the Big Four, MLS, NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League, and the WNBA. I want you to try to name the 12 cities that only have one team. And just as an example, last year, Oakland and Sacramento would have both been answers, but right now, Sacramento has 2 teams and Oakland has 0. So neither of them is an answer.
Okay, so
Okay, what are you asking now?
he's asking
What?
teams cities that only have one team.
Okay,
all of
but
that.
what are the leagues again?
So it's the Big Four plus the WNBA, MLS, and National Women's Soccer League.
Oh dear God. Okay.
So Connecticut's Sun probably. I'm assuming it's Hartford, and there's a good chance there's not another team in Hartford.
And they're actually that was the one where I really tried to extend from cities to not even metro areas, because they play in
They play the Mohegan Sun, don't they?
They play in the 64th largest city in Connecticut. It's a very small town of 18,000 where they play.
Oh,
They play at this casino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you asking very specific, like would Foxborough count?
No, so that's why
that'd
it's
be Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Green Bay is going to be one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, Green
So
Bay,
then-
yeah.
Dan, there's got to be 1 or 2 in North Carolina, isn't there?
I don't know where the women's
What about
where
Raleigh?
the Courage
Dan?
play. I don't know where they play.
Raleigh.
Do they play in Raleigh?
I
don't know.
Raleigh is the Hurricanes. is
Yeah.
what I'm
Raleigh's
saying.
the Canes, but I don't know where the Courage play. I should know that, and I don't.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's no other Jacksonville team, is there?
No,
Maybe not.
There's
Yeah,
not.
let's go with that one. Yeah.
Jacksonville's one.
Jacksonville is one. I mean, I'm loading up my full table now so that I can answer North Carolina.
I think the Courage play in the triangle somewhere, but not. I know they're not in Charlotte.
Can I say San Antonio? San Antonio only has the Spurs, right?
That's correct.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Yep. Now, did you say U.S. or can we go to Canada? Because I'm thinking Edmonton and Calgary and Winnipeg and maybe-
Winnipeg, yeah.
All 3 of those are correct.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Then Ottawa probably.
Ottawa, yeah.
Correct. So there were 4 in the NHL, and you got all 4 of them.
Montreal.
Okay.
No, Montreal's got.
got a
They've got a MLS.
Oh, do they?
right.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Uh,
So what about like Sacramento? Do they have anything else?
Do
do you
Well,
count
the
the, do you count the
Sacramento-
A's? That's what I was going to say.
That was
Do you
in
count the
Greg's
A's?
original point at the beginning because Sacramento now has the Valkyrie, the WNBA team.
Do they
Okay.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they just had their expansion draft the other day for them.
Yeah.
What about
Huh.
Oklahoma City?
I think that was also in your examples too, wasn't it?
Actually, the Valkyrie going to be in Sacramento? Because in my list, I actually have them in San Francisco.
No, they're in Sacramento.
Oh, I need to update that because they're the Golden State Valkyrie, and they were named the same as the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, but see that's a weird one out there because that's a big area. I mean, the 49ers play like
Santa
almost
Clara.
down in Fresno, right?
Well,
I mean,
okay, but what about San Jose Sharks?
They're in San Jose, right?
right.
Mhm.
But they're still the San Francisco 49ers.
Right. That's
Right.
the thing is that's all. If
Yeah.
Foxborough counts, then
Right. Okay.
And there are multiple San Jose teams, multiple San Francisco teams, and then Santa Clara you can group with either of those.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, not Fresno, not Fresno. Santa Clara.
Yeah, Fresno's a little west
So
Um,
does
east of there.
Oakland have anything that's not Big Four?
I don't think so. I think Oakland's devoid of teams now, but it's still the Bay
Oh.
Area. So
And what about like a Portland? Does anybody know if there's another team?
there's a
other than
Portland
had a-
And there's
in
an
the
MLS
soccer
team.
I thought
league,
they
in
had an
the,
MLS team.
Timbers? Is that right?
Timbers, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
and in the NWSL. I'm pretty sure.
The Thorn.
There's a Louisville in the NWSL.
Well, I know we just had a question in a trivia thing where you had to say the largest of the U.S. cities that didn't have any, but it didn't include the NWSL. So that feels like it's got to be that then.
Yeah, I think Louisville's going to be one of them.
Louisville is one of them.
Nice.
Louisville Racing of the NWSL.
How many more do we need?
I think 2. You are missing an MLS, an NBA, and I believe that's
Indianapolis, maybe?
No, Indianapolis has the Colts.
Of course. Oh, stupid. Okay.
All right, so an NBA team, really? Okay, we can get this.
Well, it's not
Is it
Utah now that we have a
Brooklyn? Does
hockey
that count?
team.
Oh, wait, not Orlando.
No, Orlando's got
Yeah.
again. Orlando has an NWSL team. I've just looked at this one recently.
Okay, I'm glad you did because I don't know them at all.
they have an MLS team.
Yeah, they do.
How about Memphis?
Yeah.
Yes,
There you go.
There you go.
yep, that is one. Good call.
So you have an MLS team remaining.
Columbus. No, Columbus has
No,
they
Columbus
have
has the crew
They
and
have
the Blue
yeah,
Jackets.
the Blue Jackets. Yep.
Yeah.
We could say stupid answers only. Chicago, Los Angeles.
Right.
I will say it is one of the largest cities in the country.
Oh man, and it doesn't have anything. That's crazy.
What's Phoenix got? Phoenix has football.
Oh, they're loaded.
Phoenix has all 4. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
I guess
not
they have
anymore,
3 now.
yeah.
Is this a California city?
No.
No,
No.
Is it East Coast or?
Middle
No.
America.
Utah has 2.
Middle America.
Oklahoma City already said.
Yep.
Did we already say St. Louis?
They got multiple.
They have
They got
least 2.
Cardinals and the Blues.
Cards.
Oh, Blues. What am I thinking of? Of course.
I believe this came up a year or 2 ago in our trivia where Gary asked what the largest city in the country without a team was. And it was a big 4 that he was discussing at the time.
Huh. Like,
Where were we?
is there something in like Virginia Beach or something like that? Or
It's not Middle America either, though. So
It is a state capital.
oh my gosh, how are we not getting this? Okay.
All right. We'll get there.
okay, largest.
We're gonna
okay,
get there now
so
if it's a state capital.
Phoenix. I'm just going through state
What about
capitals.
Austin? Do they have something?
That's got to be it.
Yeah, Austin. There we
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Austin FC.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
Austin, Calgary, Connecticut, Edmonton, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Louisville, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Ottawa, San Antonio, and Winnipeg all have one team in those 7 leagues.
All right.
And you could even extend it to the new the women's professional women's hockey league, because I believe they only have 6 teams and they all play in cities with other teams. So
Yeah.
that would have also fit into that. Okay.
I like it.
Second question is also somewhat geographic. And there's 2 parts to it, because first you're going to need a city and then you're going to need a team. I want you to tell me the easternmost, westernmost, northernmost, and southernmost teams based on their home stadiums, arenas.
Out
fields.
of which leagues?
Just
So we
all
could do
of
all
that.
or we could just do the big 4, which may be a little easier because some of these
Okay.
are in the other sports.
Okay, so Winnipeg
So-
is going to be the
I'm sorry,
Or
U.S. teams.
U.S. Okay.
okay, so
I
Miami would
think-
be south, right?
think you're probably right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Miami for
so.
both basketball
I
and for football.
I would think Boston is the furthest east.
That's correct.
Yep.
I think actually Minneapolis is farther north than Green Bay, technically.
Seattle's
Isn't it?
got to be up there a little.
Seattle's got to be up there because of the stupid curve. Yeah.
The stupid curve, yeah.
It's
Is Seattle? Greg, is that what it is?
Seattle City, yeah.
Okay.
Is Seattle also west?
It is not.
yeah, probably you're probably getting into either San Francisco or even Portland.
Yeah,
then
what about
then
San
the coast
Francisco,
starts to
probably.
taper into the east, so you can't get too far south.
Yeah, and it couldn't be Southern California one because Southern California
Right, it
dips
comes
down
back
farther
in.
east.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where Portland sits, but it's
It's
kind of
Portland or San Francisco.
Portland is further west than.
Okay.
Well, isn't
So-
San Francisco like right on the water? Oh, well, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
but
understand
again,
now.
it.
Yeah, it's the
It's-
curvature.
Where does
I think it
California
might be
start
actually San
diving to the
Francisco.
east?
I
Yeah.
think it's going to be the San Francisco Giants because the Giants are
Sit
right
on
on
the
McCovey
water.
McCovey
Cove.
Cove.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Gary,
actually,
you got a map right behind you. Why don't you look and turn around and
Yeah, I got mapped there where I look.
so Portland, San Francisco, and Seattle are all on the same line of longitude at 122.
Okay.
So if once we narrow it down to the team, then the city would actually be Portland.
Okay. The
Hmm.
Rose Gardens.
So now, if do you want to try to name the teams?
Well,
That-
for Portland, it's going to
Portland's
be
Trailblazers.
Trailblazers then.
Right. If we go with the big 4, it's Trailblazers, but it would be the soccer teams play further west if we expanded it to the leagues we were just discussing.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think it's going to be the. Oh man. If it's going to be the Twin Cities, that's going to be tough.
They sit right beside each other, right? I mean,
yeah,
like,
and I'm just trying to think of where the
Where
two
does US
downtowns
Bank-
line up.
where does U.S. Bank line up?
That's further south than.
Okay, so then you've got Target Center or Target Field.
Wait,
Target
wait,
Center
wait,
right
wait, wait.
up
I'm looking at it
Boston.
backwards. I'm looking at it upside down, I think.
Wait,
Okay.
we're
US
at
Bank Stadium is
City-
further north than
Okay.
if this is what we're looking at. If Twin Cities are what we're looking at.
For
US Bank
north?
Stadium's further north than Target Field and Target's Center.
You said Seattle was the northernmost city.
Yeah,
Seattle's the
exactly,
northernmost
exactly.
city.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
Never
you've
mind.
got the
Key
Yeah, the
Arena
Seahawks.
is
Okay.
the
So-
hockey team is much further north than the
Yeah.
football and stuff.
Climate Pledge, yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
So we got
Oh, that's right.
That's in
Kraken.
that's in
Hawks
the
and
the-
Mariners.
that's in
Heat.
the Needle, like the Seattle Needle,
Right in that
Space
neighborhood.
Needle
yeah.
area.
Yep.
and
Yeah,
then
all
that's
right, so
those
then
all
it's gonna be-
Boston for east.
Boston is where's
Okay,
Foxborough,
so-
Scott?
So Foxborough is west.
South. It's
of
south and a
Boston.
little bit west. It's not going to be
Yeah.
Foxborough.
It's
So where's the
it's
Garden
either
and
going to
where's
be it's either
Fenway?
going to be the Garden or it's going to be Fenway. And I think it's Fenway.
Let me picture a map.
Fenway's right downtown, right?
It's
Not Fenway.
Well,
no,
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 the
the
Garden's
Garden's
further. The Garden's
downtown.
further east. I'm pretty sure the Garden's a little bit further
because
east.
the
'Cause I
Garden
walked
sits
from one to the
near
other.
It's closer to Cambridge. It's over by the Tappan Zee Bridge. Like the Tappan Zee Bridge
we walked to the Garden from the name of the place that no one could pronounce, Faneuil Hall or whatever that's called.
Oh,
Faneuil.
Faneuil
Faneuil
Hall.
Hall.
We walked to the Garden from there.
I think it's TD,
Okay.
but there's two teams there, so
Right. Well, I mean, it's a tie. So.
Yeah, it is TD Garden. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, it's the Celtics and the Bruins. So you
I'm
have
completely backward in when
Yeah,
I'm in
and
Boston.
then south is going to be the
The
whatever
Heat,
the Hard Rock
right?
Hard Rock Casino Hard Rock.
You think it's the Dolphins?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because
Okay.
I think they're further. I think they're almost like closer to Homestead than.
Okay.
I think is it or are the Marlins somewhere else that I'm not thinking of?
yeah, I don't know. I've never spent any time in
And
Miami.
Marlins have their own stadium now and have for a while. I don't. But
Yeah, based on the addresses I pulled off of Wikipedia, Hard Rock Stadium is about 10, 12 miles further north than downtown.
Really? Okay.
okay.
I believe it's up by the Hard Rock Casino.
Okay, that would make sense.
Which
I guess.
is, yeah.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
So then do you want to take another shot at Miami?
I guess it's going to be
It's be the
Marlins?
Marlins then, yeah.
So the Marlins and the Heat basically play on the same street with the Marlins on the south side and the Heat on the north side.
Oh wow.
Jeez. Okay.
A few miles apart. So yeah, it is the Marlins by about 0.2 of a mile based on the home address.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then I also could have extended this to name the team that plays closest to the center of the country, but I won't do that.
Kansas City.
So it depends on if we're talking about the lower 48 or the full country. Yeah, it's Kansas City in one case, and it is Denver in the full 50 state.
Oh, yeah, because Alaska pulls it way out to the west.
Wow.
This geographical center counting Alaska and everything I thought was in the Dakotas. I'm a little surprised it's not the Twin Cities closer, but
It is Belforce, South Dakota, which is way out.
Way on the other side.
oh, is that right? Oh, there you go.
And the lower 48 is Lebanon, Kansas, which is, I believe, is like the north central part of the state.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, next, and it's going to be another list question. There are 9 teams in the 7 leagues we've been discussing that have won at least 3 championships in a row. Who are those 9 teams?
So
Boston
9 teams in the
Celtics.
Big Four that have won 3 in a row.
The Big Four plus the other leagues we've been discussing. But
Dude, you're killing me with these.
wait,
other leagues,
Greg,
man.
do defunct teams count?
yes.
Okay, so
Okay. So,
Houston
okay.
Comets.
That's the only team outside of the Big Four. Yeah. So there's
Okay, so we've got the Lakers, the Celtics. The Bulls had 2 3-peats.
Yep.
Yep. Islanders did for sure.
Yep.
Islanders
Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton Oilers had a 4-peat.
Yep.
Edmonton is not one of them.
Wait, what? I thought they won. No, they won 4 out of 5. That's
Yeah, the Islanders won 4, but
Yeah, but the Islanders did, yeah, for sure.
Islanders did. Okay.
I gotta think the
Montreal
Montreal
the
has-
championship they had.
Yes, Montreal won 4 in a row and 5 in a row at different points.
Sounds like they're punks. Yeah. Okay, so how many is that, Greg? How many do we have?
Drew really
knocked out?
good?
I think you're missing 3 teams.
3 teams. What about baseball? The Yankees? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yankees had the 90s.
Yeah, they did it on 3 separate occasions. In
So
the
did the A's.
50s
The
and
A's did it.
The A's won 3 in a row in the 70s.
I thought that was going to be maybe the hardest one, but yes, they won 72, 73, 74.
Man.
Did the
Minnesota
Patriots-
Lynx were the Giants. They did it every other year for 4 years.
Is that right? I was going to say that with them. Columbus Crew, were they good? Why do I have
No,
them
they
in
said
my head?
that the Big Four's knocked out. It's only Big Four after the Houston Comets.
Oh, okay.
So
I hate to say this to Dan, but if we're counting
Shut
pre-Super
up.
Bowl,
Shut
we
up.
got two. We got two by the Green Bay Packers.
I am not counting pre-Super Bowl.
okay, I was
Okay,
going to
well
say
then
then
we
the
just
Cleveland Browns.
arbitrarily come up with a date to come up with championships. Okay, sure,
Yes,
whatever.
yes, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Shut up,
I mean,
man.
The
Yeah.
dates still count. They still count.
Just because they're on your
Just because
arm.
they're on your arm doesn't mean they count. I know a guy with a Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl tattoo. That doesn't
Yeah, well,
count.
he's dumb. So
That's my father. All right.
In pub trivia this year, there was a question of asking for the cities with the most championships, and Green Bay was up there, like with New York, near the top, and I was very confused until I realized how many they won free.
Yeah, if the forward pass is a trick play, it shouldn't count as a world championship. So
this is a family-friendly episode, so we won't point out to you what I'm doing over the.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's one more. There's one more.
Leather helmet championship.
What
It's not-
about like did the Warriors get 4 in a row here recently?
Three. We only need three, but
No, they didn't. I don't think they got quite there.
Cleveland won in the middle.
Yeah.
Cleveland won the 2016 one to screw it up.
I
Yeah.
don't
Correct
think
there.
it's a. I don't think it's an NBA team. I
And the same thing with the Pats. The Pats had 3, but not in a row because there was the one that broke up in the middle of them in the early 2000s.
I think the
You
Buccaneers.
talking about
won.
in the?
Yeah, that's it. The Buccaneers or the Ravens. One of those two. Yeah.
Ravens beat the Giants in 01, and then the Pats won in 2, 4, and 5.
There you go.
so it's got to be either baseball or hockey.
Yeah, it's not football.
Hockey makes more sense, doesn't it? Like
I can't believe
Yeah,
the
those hockey
hockey that
teams
hasn't
don't
come to my
streets.
mind.
you know who it's not?
It's not the Penguins because they had 2 and 2.
I was going to say it's not the. It's
The Red Wings, maybe.
It's not the Maple Leafs.
It's definitely
Yeah.
not the Maple Leafs.
It's
How
not
about
the.
Actually, you know what? It could be
Unless
the
it's
Maple Leafs.
before.
If it was way before, it very well could be the Maple
It would have
Leafs.
to be 57 years prior, but yeah,
It is the Maple Leafs.
there it is.
They have the
Wow.
second most championships in hockey.
That's right, 13.
They
Yeah.
won 47, 48, 49, and 62, 63, 64.
Yep, 13 titles and none in the last 57 years. Because
But
again,
they've won one more since the Guardians, though.
again, what Leafs is actually an acronym for is losers even after 57 seasons. So that's what Leafs actually stands for. They haven't won a championship. They've lost to a Zamboni driver since they've as a goalie since winning a Stanley Cup. I cannot stand the Leafs.
Okay. Moving on now. Do I have time for 2 more questions? Because
Yeah,
they're both
yeah,
gonna be
let's do it.
on the longer list again. Okay. So I went to Olympics.com and looked at the description of a bunch of Olympic sports, and I'm just going to give you the description. I just want you to name the sport, and some of these are going to play very easy
Okay.
because I started with the 5 sports that will appear in LA in 4 years that were not on the Paris schedule. So I'm just going to give you the description. I want you to name the sport.
All right.
And this is from Olympics.com. So the first one is a bat and ball team sport where the batting side tries to score as many runs as possible, while the bowling side attempts to get batters out and restrict the flow of runs.
Sounds like cricket.
Jumping Jiminy. Yes.
That
We're
is-
having cricket in the Olympics.
Yeah,
Where are they
gonna
playing?
be-
I think
Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne. Yeah. This is why they made a big push about having the Cricket World Cup in New York this last year.
Just say, where are seriously where?
I guess LA. Well, LA is big.
The Coliseum, maybe, or something.
I mean,
No, that's
they-
not too small. That's way too
It's
small.
it's not, the dimensions aren't right.
Yeah.
There was some sports I heard that they were going to play in like Oklahoma or Texas, and I can't remember if cricket was one of them.
Oh,
Maybe
cricket
I-
in Texas? Are you kidding me? That's not going to go over.
Well, it doesn't have to actually go over there because they're just like the games in New York, and 90%
Yeah.
of people might be international.
Well, they got 4 years to figure it out.
Yeah. I from what I read, they're still not sure if they're going to play like the T20 or some other modified style as well.
Hmm.
Okay. The next sport that's going to appear in LA, it's actually two related ball sports played between teams on a diamond-shaped field. While there are world championships for men and women in both sports, blank has been a men's-only sport, while the other is a women's-only sport. So it's
Baseball
two
and
kind of
softball?
sports that go under one title.
It's baseball and softball?
That's baseball and softball.
Makes perfect sense to me. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one, a 10-a-side game played on a 100-meter by 55-meter pitch with a face-off starting proceedings and restarting the game after a goal. Is that enough, or do you want me to keep going?
Is that field hockey? I don't know.
So these are appearing for the first time in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
field hockey we've had.
Is
yeah.
it lacrosse?
Right.
It is lacrosse.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, lacrosse has happened in the Olympics before. This is
So
These
is
are ones coming
baseball.
back because baseball has
yeah.
two.
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I believe 3 of these are appearing for the first time. Actually, no, cricket may have appeared long ago as well.
Hmm.
Okay.
'Cause I think lacrosse was in the first Olympics or the first. No, whatever. Sorry.
It might have been in St. Louis. St. Louis was some weird stuff.
St.
going
Louis
on
is
there.
an awesome story. If you ever get a chance, read
The
about
St. Louis
04
Marathon.
St. Louis
That was
Marathon alone.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it was really supposed to be in Chicago because of the World's Fair, but there was a fire, right?
I think
Something happened.
something happened in
It's
St.
like some mob
Louis
boss
World's
probably
Fair.
took care of it.
Okay, the next one. A variant of American football where the aim is to advance up the pitch via a series of offensive plays into the opposition's defensive end zone.
That's flag football.
Flag football.
That is
And we're
flag
going to win. We're going to destroy the world in this, right? We have to.
Yeah, you would assume we do that a lot.
Although we thought we would have done that with 3x3 too.
You'd think we'd be like England and like all the sports that England created, but then now they suck at all of them. So we could.
Okay, the last one that'll be due in 28. Usually played by 2 people on a rectangular court enclosed by 4 walls. The floor is made of hardwood with walls in professional competition constructed from safety glass to enable spectators to watch.
Squash.
Highlight?
To be squash or
I want it to be highlight.
I
Racket.
think
Really want it to be
squash was
highlight.
coming. No.
Is squash coming? Okay, let's try squash.
Yes, squash is the last one here.
I still want it to be highlight though. I want someone to die on the court.
Did you
Okay.
guys?
Wait, what?
Did you guys ever? Sorry to
That
cut
dark.
you off here, Greg, but did you guys ever play volleyball? Do you remember? Do you guys have that when you were
I
kids?
played
used to
volleyball.
Not
play
in years, but
I
it's
used to play. Yeah, I used to play volleyball as a kid. Yeah,
That was
awesome.
awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if highlight has ever been in the Olympics. I feel like it should have been in Barcelona if it
Yes.
but I don't.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
should have been.
get Don Draper on the case.
Or if we can get it into Miami.
It's funny. I remember when I watched Mad Men, I had flashbacks of when I was young. Highlight was in the newspaper all the time, and I was like, "What is this sport?"
Yeah, it's Don Draper and
The sport of big
Sterling Cooper working on you. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, the next sport was introduced in Albertville in 1992. It began in Canada and the United States, where they held mass start competitions on an oval track as early as 1905. Athletes compete not against the clock, but against each other. This introduces the element of strategy, bravery, and skill.
Short track speed skating.
That is short track.
A schoolmate of mine was in the demonstration sport in Calgary in '88. She was 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And I believe right now the U.S. has the top ranked short track speed skater in the world.
If it weren't for that, we wouldn't know of Apollo Anton Ono. And
I believe he still has the most medals for Winter Olympian U.S. Next one. A breathtaking sport that can see athletes bounce over 8 meters in the air while performing a series of complex twists and turns.
is this
is this snowboard?
I
well, is
mean,
this summer? Or this is,
yeah,
I mean-
this could be. I mean, it could be.
trampoline was
Or
introduced.
trampoline,
but
yeah.
it can't be that.
I thought that was already in
unless
there,
it went
wasn't it?
away and it's coming back, but I doubt it.
These aren't ones that are new.
No, these are ones that are established now.
Yes.
Oh.
So yes, this one is trampoline, and I've
Yeah,
got
there we go.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. I just got to listen to the rules.
Okay, next one was added in Munich in 1972. Sees competitors navigate a whitewater course up to 300 meters in length by passing through a maximum 25 upstream and downstream gates in as quick a time as possible.
Is canoe slalom?
That is
Kayak? Yeah.
slalom.
Wow.
Nice. Okay. Next one was added in Beijing in 2008. Sees athletes take on a 10-kilometer course in open water environments such as the sea, rivers, and lakes, meaning it is much a test of mental strength as tactical ability and physical endurance.
Yeah, it's something swimming. It's like ocean swimming or something like that. I can't remember what it's called now.
I don't know this one.
I don't know it either. Yeah.
It's
Is that
something
the
like
thing that
that.
they couldn't do in France this year because of the
Yeah, because
pollution or something?
the Seine.
Well, I believe they still did it in the Senate.
Yeah, they still
they
did it
did
even
it.
though like
They
the
just,
level
yeah.
of pollution wasn't crazy. I think you stumped us here, Greg.
Okay, so this
Is
is
it just open water swimming? Is that what it's called?
marathon swimming,
Oh,
Oh,
or at least that's the name of it on Olympics.com. NBC may call it other names. And it was interesting to watch it in the Sen how when they went in one direction, they went right down the middle so the current was as fast as possible. And then going the other way, they were right on the edge so that the current was working against them as little as possible, which I thought that was pretty interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, this last one is an official Olympic sport, but is only competed in the Youth Olympic Games. It is a five-a-side format of football and the only form of indoor football approved by FIFA. It emphasizes technique, creativity, improvisation, and ball control.
Oh, what is that called?
is it? I know Iowa as a state has this in high school, like a smaller number of player football game.
No, when he says football, he said FIFA, so that means soccer.
Yeah.
Boy, I kind of learned to hear.
It's
I don't know what then.
I know what
I think Greg, I think they also, if I recall correctly, they use a smaller ball for this too, right? It's not like a regular size soccer ball.
I believe so. I didn't copy the full text from
it's
the Olympic page, but I believe that's correct.
It's like
it
something
sounds
something
like
small
football.
ball or something.
No, it sounds like football. It's futsal, is that right?
That is correct. And
Look at you, Daniel.
Wow, nice job.
futsal. Yeah, Futsal.
Huh, nice.
That's one of those things that I think I've only seen it in writing, never heard it. I think it's probably come across either my TikTok or my whatever, like Facebook feed or something like that. When I haven't had my my volume up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of emails at work with people trying to organize games, and that's when I had to look up what it was. That an engineering company, a lot of international engineers, and they play it a lot.
All right, we done there, Greg?
Yep.
That is
you
all
got
I
another
have.
one. He's got one more.
Oh, yeah, one more. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so the last one, I'm just keeping it kind of loose. I have, and again, I went through all of the teams this year. It's going back to teams. I'm just going to name a team, and I want you to give me some of the previous names or locations of that team. And I have a full list here of teams that have moved around. I'll just pick a few in each sport. So to start with, let's skip one of the easier ones. Okay, so give me all of the names of the Baltimore Orioles before they were in Baltimore.
We've already done that.
St.
I
Louis
was gonna say
Browns
that
and the
was-
Milwaukee Brewers
Milwaukee Brewers is the other one.
Yep.
for one season in 1900.
I have them as 1894 to 1901 in Milwaukee as the Brewers. Okay, do you want to try to name some of the names of the Dodgers before they were the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Oh, I don't know that one.
The Trolley Dodgers, does that
Dodgers.
count?
I was gonna say Trolley Dodgers count. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the Trolley Dodgers for 2 seasons. That does count. Any other guesses?
I don't know of any other. Yeah.
Okay, they were the Robins from
I
1940.
knew that. Shoot, I'm sorry.
The Robins, huh? I didn't know that one.
Yes.
They were the Superbas from 1899 to 1910.
Nice.
Wow.
And then other names in the 1800s were the Bridegrooms, the Grooms, the Grays, and the Atlantics.
Hmm.
Okay. What about names of the Boston Braves before they were the Boston Braves?
The
That is going to
the
be they
Mer
were the Bean Eaters at one point.
the Boston Bean Eaters.
From
See, I always get the Braves, and I always get the Boston Braves and the Boston, what would become the Boston Red Sox.
Right, and I think that
Screwed up.
the Braves were actually the Red Stockings.
that was their original
That's
name,
true. Yeah.
1871 to 1875.
So then Boston Bean Eaters, like you said.
They were the Bees as well. Boston Bees.
They were actually the Bees after they were the Braves, and then they went back to the Braves. After that, they were the
Right.
Bees in the 1930s.
I think I'm out after that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they after the Red Stockings, they were the Red Caps for 7 seasons. And then the Bean Eaters, the Dubs for 4 years in the 1900s, and the Rustlers for 1 season.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, now go to football. The New York Jets,
Well, they were the Titans.
Titans. Yeah.
Titans of New York for 3 seasons. The Kansas City Chiefs,
They were the Dallas
They-
Texans.
Dallas Texans. Yeah. Yeah.
that's correct. The Chicago Bears,
They were
Decatur
the-
State.
the Decatur Staleys.
That's right.
that's correct. And the Chicago Staleys.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions,
They
Ooh.
were
Are they the Chicago Bears?
No, they were in
They were one of those car name cities, weren't they?
Were they in Chrysler or something like that?
The Pontiac somethings. Yeah.
Well, no, I thought they were in Ohio somewhere before they went to Detroit. I want to say Southern Ohio somewhere, but a smaller town, not one of the bigger towns.
Oh,
and then,
well,
and
were
then
they-
the
You've
guy,
got
Were they in
Columbus,
like
I want to
Cincinnati.
say like Plattsmouth
like
or
Dayton? Were they in Dayton?
Pottsmouth or something.
Portsmouth is a
Portsmouth?
town.
Portsmouth. Is that right, Craig? Greg?
were the Portsmouth Spartans for 4
There you
years.
go.
Very good
Yeah.
job.
Wow.
Yeah.
and that was Portsmouth, Ohio then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because then they moved from there to that was a big deal because the owner was a car guy, and that's where he got to Honolulu Blue was from somewhere from
He was on
Ford.
his vacation in Hawaii.
in Hawaii. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Huh.
That's cool. Nice.
And he liked the color of the water, and he got a patent for that color.
And the water could no longer be that color.
And so it hasn't.
Damn you, water.
Uh,
Okay, here's a team that had 7 names before they were the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh my gosh.
The
Okay.
St. Louis Cardinals. the
Chicago and St. Louis
Chicago
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah. Um,
And then
Weren't they-
before that,
weren't they something
Phoenix
about the
Cardinals?
Maroons?
they were the Phoenix
Oh.
Cardinals. Um,
Yeah.
they were also in the Chicago area too. Before that,
yeah, I don't know.
So that's how many did we get there, Greg? We got 4 of the 7, I
we're
believe.
in
3 of them so far.
Racine.
Oh,
They were in
geez.
Racine.
They actually weren't in Racine. I think they played in Chicago on Racine Avenue or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Because, yeah, that's definitely downtown Racine Avenue.
Yeah.
Were they one of those wartime combined teams?
What did
Yes,
they
they were
combine
one of
with?
the 2 that I know of at least.
Because the Steagles did that.
Yeah, that's the only one I recall of that, but doesn't mean it wasn't more.
Oh, the Cardinals like they joined and then they didn't play in Chicago. They like ceased for like 2 seasons or something, and they played somewhere else, combining with the team during the war. But I don't remember what team it was.
Yeah, they were Card Pit in 1944.
Oh, what
Hmm.
the Steelers?
Yes.
Oh,
What were the Steagles doing then?
That may have been the year before or the year after the Steagles. I don't know for certain. And then the other names you're missing, they were the Racine Normals. and they began as the Morgan Athletic Club in 1898.
Wow.
Oh, this is pre all the other stuff.
You don't remember that, Matt?
Oh no, wasn't around for that one. Well, because technically there's there was like just like with the AFL, there was a Philadelphia neighborhood team that was a part of the American Professional Football League, and then the NFL up until like the late 30s or something like that.
There were some weird teams
like
in
Harrison,
very
like
beginning
something
of the
like that.
NFL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, is that not one of those teams that the pre-Super Bowl Packers beat
Hey,
for
listen
a
now.
championship?
Listen, Scotty. Are we gonna go rounds in this one here? We're gonna have a little fisticuffs.
Was that
here.
like the Montreal
All right.
Maroons or something like
We,
that? Is that one of those
pre-Super Bowl?
titles
We call them interim championships.
Yeah. Racine
Hey,
Curling Club.
Racine.
Oh,
There
Gary's
you
got a
go.
good one.
Okay, so NBA next. The LA Clippers.
The
San
San
Diego
Diego
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yep.
Yep. And what else?
Oh,
They were in
they were
like
Houston.
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 California Clippers.
They weren't in
Houston.
really?
The Rockets were.
Oh,
there
were they
and
the
went to
Rockets?
Houston.
Oh,
Were they the Rockets before the Rockets?
No, but the Rockets were in San Diego before they were in.
yeah, but
There you go. That's where I'm confused.
That was my next question. There was San Diego Rockets for 67 to 71 before the Clippers were even in San Diego.
Okay.
But there's one more. The Clippers were somewhere else before San Diego.
the
Oh, weren't they
Tactics.
like Syracuse or something like that?
Or were they the Nationals? Is that no?
Or Louisville.
No, I thought they were a New York team.
No, it's Buffalo Braves.
There.
That's who it was.
There we go.
They were the Buffalo Braves from 70 to 78.
Yeah, Syracuse was the Sixers.
Okay, now another team that's been a bunch of different places, the Washington Wizards.
Well, they were the
Russian
Washington
Bullets.
Bullets. They were the Baltimore Bullets.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far back as my history with the
Yeah,
Wizards
I'm
goes.
not gonna know beyond that.
Wasn't there what was the St. Louis basketball team called?
Hawks.
They were the Hawks.
Yeah, they were the
Oh,
Hawks
okay.
that became the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah.
No. Baltimore Bullets.
I'm
They
lost
came.
on this one.
They came from somewhere else before Baltimore.
So do you want to keep going on this one, or you want me to just tell you?
I don't think I'm going to get there, but
I'm not
they
going to
came
get
from-
there.
They came from somewhere else before.
Yeah, they began as the Chicago Packers in the 60s.
Holy cow! The Chicago Packers. That
They
They
doesn't
let
sound
that
right at all.
happen.
Yeah,
They
I was
let
gonna
that
say.
name happen.
Wow.
And the Chicago Zephyrs for a season before they went to Baltimore. And then in the middle there, they had a really interesting name of the Capitol Bullets for a season.
Interesting.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, we said that one. That was Syracuse
The
Nationals.
Syracuse Nationals.
Okay. The Sacramento Kings.
The
Kansas City
Kansas
Royals?
City and the Kansas City
Kansas City,
Omaha
Omaha.
Royals.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
And then before that, they were in Pennsylvania somewhere. Or
were they in
in
Philadelphia?
I think they might have been.
They were
Because
not.
wasn't it? Isn't that the team that he scored his 100 points against? Was the Royals?
Yeah, but that
Oh,
was
the
KC,
Rochester.
right?
Cincinnati, right?
Or the Rochester Royals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were in Rochester, but
Yeah.
the game
There
was
you
in Hershey. I believe that
Yeah,
was
the
Yeah.
game was in Hershey. Yeah,
Yep.
NBA played in different areas trying to build support.
Yeah.
and then there were probably other names of the Royals before they were the Royals. Would be my
Sure.
guess.
Yeah, they were the Kings in Kansas City, Omaha. They were the Cincinnati Royals, the Rochester Royals, the Rochester Pros for 2 seasons, the Rochester Eber Seagrams for 1 season, and
Of
just the
course.
Rochester Seagrams for like 20 seasons, it looks like, in the
The
20s.
Seagrams?
Yeah.
Old and wine cooler.
oh yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the NHL now.
Ooh, here we
Well-
go.
Pretty easy. I'll move through them quickly, just do all of them. The Winnipeg Jets.
There's the Atlanta
Which
Thrashers.
which ones?
Yeah, exactly.
Which
The-
version?
The current ones are
The
Brand
Utah
new.
Hockey
Atlanta.
Club.
So yeah, the current ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the current
Colorado
ones were the
Avalanche.
Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah. So Colorado Avalanche.
Was
Quebec Nordiques.
Was the
they were
Quebec
Quebec.
Nordiques? Yeah.
Yep. The New Jersey Devils. And there were two.
That was the
Colorado
Colorado, not Avalanche, Colorado
Or
Rockies.
the
Colorado
Rockies.
Rockies.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Colorado Rockies.
Mhm.
And
That's it.
before that, they were the Kansas City something
Royals. Oh, Scouts. There we go.
Scouts.
Scouts. Yes. Okay. The Calgary Flames.
Atlanta Flames.
Atlanta Flames.
Yeah, that's right.
The
How
Detroit.
about we not give a hockey team to Atlanta anymore?
How about that? That's a great idea.
Come on, 3. You got to have at least 3 tries.
Okay. Detroit Red Wings.
Ooh, I thought they were original from Detroit.
Chicago Packers.
The Green
We'll
Bay
take
Vikings.
South Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
were not the Red Wings initially. They were in Detroit.
Wow.
The
That had to go
Maroons.
back a long way.
No, the Maroons were.
That's
were in-
yeah, that's Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys stumped me on this one.
They were the Falcons for 2 seasons, and they were the Cougars for 4 seasons.
And that was Detroit, or called Detroit. Yeah.
This was in the 1800s. When was this?
1920s and 30s.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And then last in NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ooh.
Ugh.
They weren't the Marlies at one point, I don't think, right?
Oh, were they not?
That's just
I
their
like, I
minor
guess.
league, their affiliate. I
Yeah, they're
think.
minor league, but I thought they were the I don't know, maybe.
Uh,
I don't know. Well, you know your hockey better than I do though, Gary. So
no, I'm not liking that though.
okay, let's move off of it. Toronto.
Oh, the
They
Oh,
shoot.
the
They have
Moose.
they have something to do with the Irish.
St. Pat's.
Yes. That's
yeah,
it.
that is
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Yes, they were the St. Patrick's for 8 seasons. And
that's
before that,
right.
another name for 2 seasons. I don't know if you want to take a shot at that one.
Oh no.
The Moose.
Oh, that's the Manitoba Moose and the Minnesota Moose.
Yeah.
They were the Arenas for 2 seasons.
Oh,
Yeah, I have heard of it.
I thought you were going to ask for for the San Jose Sharks, because that's an interesting one that we're not going to get into right now. So
No, I actually don't know the history of that one. Were they
I don't
signed?
either. What
I've
is it?
got the whole history with San Jose. Right?
Okay. I'll have to read up on that. I have a few MLS and WNBA if you want to try that as well.
I think we need to move on.
Okay.
So we're going to move. We're just going to go straight on to Scott.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, my first question, much like all of yours, is in 27 part. No, I'm kidding. You guys with your 85 part questions.
27 part. Then I must be talking about all the Green Bay Packer championships.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we're counting the ones from when the Pilgrims came over. I forgot. All right. No, it's I'm basic with my questions. You all know what you're going to get out of me. Stuff that interests me, stuff that's local to me. And with that, we start with my alma mater, Marshall University. What Marshall University standout football player is being inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame tonight? Tonight being December 10th, 2024. He is the 5th Marshall player ever to enter the College Football Hall of Fame.
I don't know. Randy Moss, was he there?
Yeah, he was there, but I'm pretty sure he's probably
Already in it.
Well, you know what? He didn't have a very long career at Marshall, or in college football for that matter. Is this Chad Pennington?
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to name any Marshall guys. Sorry.
Man, I mean, I suppose I suppose it could be. It could be Moss, but I mean, he didn't have a very. That might be why he's only getting in now, because he didn't have a very long college career. But that would make sense. I don't know why I've heard this. He's been having some bad health problems lately, but I don't know if that has anything to do with him getting in. I don't know. Anybody else have anything on this? Matt, do you have anything?
I know nothing about except for Randy Moss and Penny. That I don't really know much about Marshall football. The movie is pretty much all I got. They ran the Veer for a couple seasons. I know.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. Should we just say Moss then? I would have thought he'd already been in, or if he isn't in, it's because he didn't play very long. So, all right, we'll say Randy Moss just because it's you, Scott.
Your answer is from the 2018 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay. It is Randy Moss, just now getting into the College Hall of Fame, because the College Football Hall of Fame rules are dumb. So,
does it mean you had to play more than one season? Because that's
it's he played 2 seasons with Marshall. Okay. He played 1 in 1AA and 1 in 1A, both with.
Oh
Marshall.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's the rules are arbitrary and kind of silly, but he's just now getting in today into the College Football Hall of Fame.
What was the rule specifically that he's just?
I don't know the exact rule of what kept him out before then, but it's they feel arbitrary every time I've asked before. Is like, wait a minute, why isn't Moss in the College Football Hall of Fame? Because he had the record for most touchdown catches in a season for a long time, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the exact rule is that kept him out. But nevertheless, they're correcting their mistake and putting him in today, as a matter of fact. So again, straightforward, but there's a reason it's straightforward, because I figured everyone knew who Randy Moss was. So, all right, next question's another alma mater of mine, WVU. Dan knows all about the running backs, so I stayed away from running backs and with coaches this time. West Virginia University is currently without a head football coach, and rumors are abound that Rich Rodriguez is poised to once again take on the mantle of head coach for his alma mater. If the rumors are true, his first opponent on the field will be a familiar one, with that game scheduled for the season opener of September 13th. My question is, who was the last team Rich Rod lost to while serving as head coach for WVU? And for bonus points, what was the score of that game?
Oh man. Last team he lost to?
And the last team it was the last game he coached for WVU as well.
I mean,
in his previous stint as a head coach.
Man. So that's interesting, because it's probably going to be a bowl game, right? I mean, man,
which then could make it anybody. Well,
I'm guessing it's going to be a well-known name, but that's and some sort of odd score if he's asking for the score as well. But that's really all I can contribute is analyzing the question.
Okay, so it has to be someone. I mean, it has to be something that we can get from the information that we have.
You want me to reread the question?
Yeah.
Okay. West Virginia University is currently without head football coach, and rumors are abound that Rich Rodriguez is poised to once again take over the mantle of head coach for his alma mater. If the rumors are true, his first opponent on the field will be a familiar one, with that game scheduled for the season opener of September 13th. My question is, who was the last team Rich Rod lost to while coaching for WVU, and bonus points will score the game. So that's the last game he coached as WVU head coach.
Okay.
Is there any?
Okay. I have an in then. I didn't think about this. The last game of the year is the backyard brawl. So that's going to be against Pitt. I don't know if he lost that game. But that would be a way to get fired from WVU, would be to lose that game. That's just what I know about
Hmm.
WVU.
Yeah, my only stab at it was it wherever he's been coaching most recently, if he has been coaching, which would make it familiar to him because he just coached there. But I don't know
Yeah.
where he's at.
I think just as far as our odds are that, I mean, we know they played at toward the end of the year. So that'd be a good way to go, a good guess.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. We're going to say Pitt.
The last game was one I attended that Rich Rod coached. It was December 1st, 2007. It was Backyard Brawl, WVU Pitt. WVU was already locked into the BCS and was set to play for the national championship, but was upset by a 4-7 Pitt team who came in as a 28.5-point underdog and lost their chance to play for the national championship that year. And as for the score of the game, season opener is on 9-13.
Oh,
Score of the game was 13-9.
yikes.
Nice.
Okay.
Low scoring game for college football, isn't it?
It was Pat White was hurt in the second quarter, and
Pat White, I remember him. That's right.
and Pat McAfee missed 2 field goals. I think 2 field goals to put WVU in a bit of a tight spot. All right. So moving on. Let's stay in college football. I just thought this was an interesting question more than anything else. The American Athletic Conference is going to have a number of new coaches for 2025, but 3 of those new head coaches will be coaching for teams that have the same exact mascot, nickname, whatever you want to call it. What is the thrice repeated team name found in this 13-team conference?
Oh, in the AAC.
It's not the
Yeah.
Colonials, is it?
So this is the one the Army just won. They beat Tulane.
There's
I
not
mean,
3
I think
green.
Eastern Carolina is in there.
Yeah. Oh, I know who this is.
Like UTEP, I think, or
No,
Texas San
it's
Antonio.
I know who it is. It's Josh's favorite team.
Oh, the Owls.
It's
yes.
the Owls. It's going to be Temple and Rice and what's the other one?
Florida Atlantic?
Florida Atlantic. Yep.
Yeah, that's the only other owl I could name. Yeah.
In the 13-team conference, 3 of them are named for Owls, and they all 3 have new head coaches in 2025. You got them all: Temple, FAU, and Rice. Again, just thought that was interesting more than anything
Yeah.
else.
It is. That's cool.
All right. My next question, since we talked about them earlier, interim titles are serious business here on Benchwarmers.
Yeah.
So let's show our current interim heavyweight champion some love. Despite John Jones having recently defeated Stipe Miocic for the UFC heavyweight title, what English fighter is still considered the UFC interim heavyweight champion, having both won and defended said title in 2 fights over the past 13 months?
Okay, say that one more time, Scott, because I was.
Despite John Jones having recently defeated Stipe Miocic for the UFC heavyweight title, what English fighter is still considered the UFC interim heavyweight champion, having both won and defended said title in 2 fights over the past 13 months? So again, since interim titles are serious business, I'm just asking for the current interim heavyweight champion of the UFC.
I have no in on this whatsoever.
He's English. Again, I gave you that much too.
Oh, okay. That doesn't help me.
Yeah, I think Russian skateboarders is more in my wheelhouse than this category.
uh,
Yeah, like I want to say Conor McGregor, and I have no clue when he stopped fighting or if he's even English.
he's
He's
very
Scott. He's
Irish.
very
He's
Irish.
quite Irish.
That's what I figured, yeah.
I don't have an in on this at all. I may not even know who this person is.
You may not, even though he's probably in line to fight John Jones to unify the heavyweight championships. The fighter we're looking for is Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is your current UFC interim heavyweight champion of the world.
How do you feel about interim titles?
Again, there's serious business on this podcast, and I will not have anyone say otherwise.
So can I ask, what is, if there is an actual heavyweight champion right now, what is the interim champion?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good question.
A great question. Moving on. Interim titles are silly. Anyway. And this is just another fun one. Just something that I really like is professional wrestling, sports entertainment, if you will. And this comes from the world of sports entertainment. Former WCW and WWE superstar Brian Pillman was once roommates with what future Super Bowl winning coach when they were both students at Miami of Ohio?
Oh, I know this.
So
Bowl
according
winning
to
quarterback.
Wikipedia, an interim champion is somebody who is occasionally the champion of a particular weight division, is temporarily unavailable to defend their championship because of medical, legal, or other reasons beyond the competitor's control.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And even though we have a current John Jones as a heavyweight champion who just fought, we still have an interim title out there for some reason. Just because it's fun.
Gives us something to talk about.
All right, give us some. Give us some interim, not interim. Why I got interim on the mind now. Give us some Super Bowl winning
Interim
head coaches
Super Bowl
that
winning
are
coaches. Yes.
that are what in their mid 50s probably.
Went to Miami of Ohio.
Andy Reid.
He did not play football, or if he did,
He was a putt, pass, and kick champion. How dare
yeah.
you?
Well, you didn't say he played football. You just said he was.
No, that's true. You're right.
You get what the Harbaughs.
Well,
Michigan. obviously,
Jim
for
went to
Jim.
Michigan.
John, I don't know
Yeah.
where he went to school.
Where did John go? He's the right age.
I don't know, but if you're a brother rivaling your Michigan brother, you had to go to Ohio State
True.
just to get him. Who else?
Don't think he was.
Who are
what's
the
his
coaches of the Rams, the Bucks?
Not McVay.
No, too young actually for McVay.
Bucks would have been the guy that was at Arizona before. But he would have been too old.
Yeah, that would have been way too. This has to be
Um,
someone that's won it in the last, 10 years maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not Andy Reid.
So who's coach of the Broncos when Manning won there?
That was Fox.
The Bengals head coach right now is
When did the Bengals win the Super Bowl?
yeah, what am I talking about?
When that guy got the tattoo.
Never mind.
Maybe it is Harbaugh. John, not Jim.
Right.
It's Midwest,
Go with it,
right?
yeah.
All right. We're gonna go say John Harbaugh.
Well, he's 62 years old, if you're looking for an age.
Wow.
And he did play varsity football for Miami of Ohio. It is John Harbaugh.
Hey,
Okay.
way to go, Dan.
I
Excellent
was
work.
thinking Brian Pillman was, younger than that, but I guess it's been how long
Well,
since he died?
it's been a while since Brian Pillman died, and he died at the age of 35. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. So those are my 5 questions.
All right. Great. We're going to move on to Gary now, and this is what I've been waiting for.
All right. Well, this year I'm going to do something a little different than what I have. In our local trivia, we used to do a thing they called the baffler. I'm sure this format appears in many shapes and forms, but basically you're going to get 6 questions to name a certain athlete, and every question, it starts vague, and every question gets a little bit more detail, and you get a free guess on every one just to see what you do. If you get it on the first one, you get 1 billion points, and I don't know the rest of the point value.
All of the points.
All of every last
And
point.
in the light of what I'm probably most known for in the trivia world, it's connections. So the 4 answers, I have 4 different athletes. The 4 answers all have a hidden connection. So find the 4 athletes and find the hidden connection. And starting out with number 1, the first question is, this athlete has 2 gold Olympic medals and was born in 1963.
Okay. So let's not with these easy, not the easy ones, but the very vague ones at the beginning. Let's not try and
Hold on. No,
deep.
no, I might have a lead on this.
All right, go ahead.
What about Jordan? Jordan has 2 gold medals, and that's about the time he would have been born, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a Chicago connection with Gary.
Yeah, that could be it.
So so Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is a great guess. It's not right, but it's a very nice.
Now
All right.
Now I want to know when Michael Jordan was born. So I'll be looking that up. So
yeah, I think he was a couple years later than that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, question 2. As a junior, he failed to make his high school varsity team in the sport that he is known for playing. So this probably would have pointed you towards Jordan as well, but it's still not Jordan. So.
Because he was a
By the way,
sophomore.
Michael Jordan, born February 17th, 1963.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh.
How about Patrick Ewing?
Sure.
It'd be about the same time. Does he have 2 Olympic? Okay, so he's got Dream Team. Did he play on the 84 team?
He should have.
I think he did.
He should have. He was
a lot of people should have, though.
Because I remember at the end of Air, they were talking about him in that at something, and I remember in something they talked about him being cut from his high school team at some point also.
And did he was he on Dream Team 2?
Yes.
No. If he was,
I think he won only the 2. I think only one in Dream Team and Dream Team 2.
Okay, so then he wouldn't have played in 84.
Yeah. Because 84, he would have been like a sophomore at Georgetown.
Okay.
Let's say
because he was a 95. He was the 85 draft pick as opposed to 84 for Jordan.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yep. Villanova beat them in the.
I know he was an 85 draft pick because that was the frozen envelope.
Yep.
Theory is that with that draft. Yeah.
Let's say it. We'll say Patrick Ewing.
The correct answer is not Patrick Ewing.
Oh.
Killing us, Gary.
All right, number 3, question 3. He majored in business management in college, and he led his college to its first ever NCAA tournament appearance.
Oh,
appearance! Wow. Say it again.
He majored in business management in college and led his college to its first ever NCAA tournament appearance.
First ever appearance is crazy.
Oh, come on. The
Steph Curry. That could be Steph Curry.
Not born in 63.
Not born in 63.
Oh, no, not born. Oh, never mind.
What's the St. John's? The St. John's.
Chris Mullin?
I believe Chris Mullin would have won in 84 in Dream Team.
Yeah, but I feel like Johnny's were good before that, but I could be wrong.
Let's go through the Dream Team then.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Okay, so
Not Christian
Barkley was
Laettner.
not on the 84 team. He might have been on Dream Team 2. I can't remember.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone never. Who did he
Is
play?
this Stockton? Is this Stockton?
John
Stockton.
Stockton.
Gonzaga?
Would Gonzaga have been the first time that they?
He could have been on
Probably
Dream
could have
Team
been.
Who else
He
was on
would
the
have
Dream
been on 92 and 96. Then he wouldn't
That's
have
what I'm
been on
saying.
the
Yeah, Dream
84
Team
team.
2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have been on Dream Team 2.
Bird and Johnson would be too old.
And Bird was not on any other Olympic team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnson wasn't either.
Not Leitner.
No, he was not. He was only on the one Olympic team.
Yeah.
Plus, he would have been born in like the early 70s.
Right.
All right.
Was Clyde Drexler on that team?
He was.
Mm,
He was on the Dream Team.
And
I don't think he was on the 96 team.
I don't
though.
think he was on any other team.
okay.
And Houston had to have made it to the.
Yeah, it
A
was
team. Yeah.
I think Stockton might be our answer here because had Gonzaga ever made it before him?
Well, yeah. I don't think so.
And does the
Right.
business major help at all with that?
No, but
Sure.
let's say it does. We'll say John Stockton.
Oh, Stockton is a city in California, but it is not the answer to this question.
I was going for Stockton, California too. I was going for
Yeah.
that being
All right, number 4. He played for 3 different teams over his 16-year professional career. First drafted in 1984, making the all-rookie team.
Maybe.
Are we
Barkley.
certain this is basketball, by the way?
Barkley would be Suns, Rockets, and Sixers,
He
Yeah.
said NCAA tournament, so I assume we're at basketball unless
and
Yeah, that's
Auburn
true.
would be the college team.
Yeah, that it could be Barkley then. Do it.
All right, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley's a good guess because it's right.
Okay.
All right,
Hey.
Yay!
Yes. The last 2 Barkley questions were he's known for being controversial and wrote a book entitled I May Be Wrong, but I Doubt It. And since his retirement, he's become an analyst for his sport on TNT.
Yes, he has.
So nice job. Got that one in 4. Half a million points for that. Well done.
500,000 points.
And let's go on to puzzle number 2. First question. This athlete was born in Los Angeles and has 6 children. He has 1 Olympic gold medal, and he was born in 1973.
Paul
My
Pierce.
age.
I know Paul Pierce is from LA, and I don't know if he's a
He's
one-time.
not. He's not 51 years old either, or 52 years
He's
old, or 51.
pretty darn close. I mean, he's not playing. I mean, hmm.
1 gold medal.
Correct.
and we don't know
Born
what
in-
sport this is.
Born in L.A.
1 years old.
So would have won the medal in 92 or 96 probably.
Yeah. So that wouldn't be. If it's basketball, it wouldn't be Pierce.
It would
It
be
would
late.
be right around. It would be around Shaq. Shaq's
What about
age.
what about hockey?
And Shaq wasn't born in LA.
No, but it was that his age though, but right around there. Hockey. What about hockey?
Born in LA. I can't think of any. Well, he probably wouldn't be a lot of hockey guys born in LA.
And 1 medal.
Rose didn't
This is
play
the first
hockey.
one. This is the first thing, guys. Let's not think too
All
hard
right,
on
I
it.
was going to say let's just guess Paul Pierce and be done with it.
Yeah.
Move on.
Sure, Paul Pierce.
All right. Next question, because it is not Paul Pierce. He has a bronze statue of himself outside of Crypto.com Arena, former Staples Center in Los Angeles. That is one of the 13 statues outside of that facility.
Okay.
Not Kobe. 73. He would have been born like 78.
Kobe was born in Italy, though, wasn't he?
That's right. You're a good point.
And I think he's 79 or 80.
Yeah, he's a little younger than me. So, Shaq, again, not born in LA. He does have a statue. Jerry West was born here in West Virginia. and definitely not in 70.
I mean, going back to hockey, or I guess maybe even Clippers, who would it be if it was someone from 73
Well,
who played in LA?
Clippers aren't at crypto anymore.
Not anymore, but maybe the statues went up before.
Maybe. Yeah.
Throwing that out
I
there.
don't know. I don't know of a lot of Clipper greats other than Elgin Baylor, and that doesn't fit age-wise.
Or people who played for the Kings in the 90s and 2000s.
Who would be the great?
What year did the pros play hockey in the Olympics? That only goes back,
Like 96, maybe
was it that far back?
2000. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. And again, how many great American LA-born hockey players are there?
Right. Probably basketball, unless it's just someone else.
Probably basketball. What about it? Wouldn't be Robert Horry, would it?
I doubt it.
Big shot Bob. I'm just trying to think of Lakers that would have a statue. Ron Artest, maybe.
I think he's from New York.
Okay. I got nothing.
Yep.
So we just go officially call it no guess and move on?
Yeah.
All right. Question 3 then. He has a business partnership with longtime friend Mario Lopez.
Huh.
And I believe it's winemaking, but I can't remember.
Oh, I heard this recently, but now I forget.
I didn't realize Marc Paul Gossier was an Olympic medalist.
This was just on Triviality the other day.
No kidding.
Huh.
I think Mario Lopez has a big history with wrestling in high school. This isn't a wrestler, is it?
Ooh. With a statue outside of crypto. That'd be unique.
Like what? The only wrestler to win an Olympic medal, I think, is Kurt Angle.
He won one
Kurt
Olympic
Angle,
medal, you
but
said?
he's Kurt Angle's famously out of Pittsburgh.
You said one Olympic medal?
Yes. Gold. One Olympic gold medal.
I think I got it.
I think I got it too.
I think this is De La Hoya.
I think you're right.
Oh, that's a great guess. Yeah. I love that guess. Let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll see. Oscar De La Hoya.
All right. Next question is not needed because it is Oscar De La Hoya.
I got the connection.
Nice.
I got
Dan.
the connection, guys.
Nice.
Oh, you got the connection already. Look at you.
Hold on. Let me. So the first one was Barkley, and this is De La Hoya.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Let me think on the connection then.
Well, let's move on and let's see if it.
I just want to see if I get. Yeah.
If I'm right, it'll give us a heads up or give us an advantage on trying to get the rest of it.
All right. We ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Athlete number 3. First question. This athlete is a member of his sports Hall of Fame. Played a total of 22 seasons across 5 different teams.
That's professional seasons?
Yes.
Okay.
5 different teams.
Member of his sports Hall of Fame, 5 different teams, 22 seasons, 5 teams. Gretzky?
Did he play for
Gretzky's up there. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Hold on. Edmonton, LA, St. Louis, Rangers.
In Arizona?
I didn't think he played for Arizona. I could be wrong. Arizona would have been. It might just be those 4. Okay, so it wouldn't be Gretzky. 5 teams.
Now I'm having a hard time thinking if the connection that I came up with, I'm having a hard time thinking of anybody else who could be part of it. So maybe I'm wrong.
We'll find out. 5 teams, 22 years. Hall of Famer. Randy Moss. No, Randy Moss didn't play for 22 years.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, this leads to baseball with 22 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Hold on, Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux played for Cubs, Braves,
Dodgers.
Bert
Dodgers,
Blyleven.
Padres.
Bert Blyleven.
Bert Blyleven?
It's
Okay.
Bert
Let's go
Blyleven.
with Bert Blyleven because he's got the N on the connection.
We're going to say Bert Blyleven, Gary.
That is how many billion did I say is worth putting it on the first one?
Way to go,
Bert
What
Dave.
if I
I
get
knew
the
I knew
Nice.
he had
He's got
a
the N on the.
Minnesota insider on that one. That was especially for you.
what if we get the fourth one without a
A hint?
Without a
even
hint.
the
You're
first
the only one that
question?
knows the connection, so it's all on you.
That would be impressive, but not impossible.
All
right, Dan.
I don't know. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Fourth athlete. First question. This athlete played and excelled in many sports as a child, beginning the sport he was known for at the age of 8.
Eight might actually be too old for hockey. Usually hockey kids are like about 3 when they're starting to get on the skates.
I'm gonna take a guess.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
I'm gonna say it's Ernie Banks.
Oh jeez.
That is not correct.
Oh,
it is not correct.
It's not correct?
It is wrong.
Okay.
Okay. Question 2. This former world #1 ranked athlete has won majors from his sport.
It's Ernie Els. Oh,
4 times over the span of his long career and was inducted into the World's Hall of Fame in 2011.
Ernie Els.
Ernie Els is the correct answer.
What is the connection?
I was wondering if there was a Grover in there, or maybe Larry Bird might have been in there.
Bert, Oscar. Okay, Sesame Street. Okay.
Blyleven, Ernie. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, the first one threw me though, because Charles
Barkley the dog.
Barkley.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
That's a good one. That's a deep cut, Gary.
Early, right? But
okay.
It didn't stump Dan. He jumped on that quick. That was good.
Barkley the dog was a Muppet or a character on Sesame Street?
He was a big dog.
Dog character, like Big Bird size, a real big one.
I don't think he was on Sesame Street as much as he was on the Muppets.
Okay.
He was on Sesame Street most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a big, like Saint Bernard type thing.
Wow.
Really big dog.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. What's Greg
got a signed picture of Barkley, I bet. No.
Oh, what is this? A table of Muppets.
Periodic table of the Muppets. That's
Nice.
hilarious.
So I'm going to try to find Barkley on here.
Yeah, that
Look
might
for
have
Barry
focused more on
Brown.
Muppet Show. It'd be very interesting.
We know what year he was introduced because this is chronological.
He would have been
Late
in the
70s.
Look on the table where Berkeleyum would go, and maybe Barkley would be.
Yeah,
he was a darker brown too. That one on the left side there that made me like on the very top of that little section there. Nope.
So that's Baskerville the Hound, 19.
This is a fantastic podcasting, by the way, for an audio medium.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
great.
We'll
So for everyone's listening, Greg went over and grabbed a framed picture of something called the periodic table of the Muppets, which has like little 1-inch by 1-inch squares with the color, it seems like, of the Muppets color.
Yeah.
And then maybe a description of or the name and then the year that they were introduced, and it's laid out kind of like the periodic table.
Yeah, it has the year they were introduced, the show they appeared on, and initials of who the puppeteers were, and then down at the bottom it has all the different.
Wow.
It's the
That's
beauty of
cool.
podcasting. You don't have to put on makeup. You don't have to dress up right.
Oh, I didn't have to put on makeup? Damn, now you tell me.
Very nice.
I'm with you. All right. Well,
Gary, did you have another set of questions about the world little-known cricketer Sammy Snuffleupagus by any chance?
I did not. He got snuffled out in the first round. So
Yeah, I couldn't think of anybody else. I thought it had to be Ernie. So that's
Yeah, I mean, there was so many other options, so it's amazing that you landed on Ernie there. But
I couldn't think of anything. I mean, like unless you went to the human characters like Bob, or was there a Mr.
I mean,
Hooper?
yeah, I mean, there was
Hooper?
human ones. You had Gordon, Susan, Maria. You could have found stuff there. I thought about doing one for Zoe Monster.
Yeah.
There's also a Prairie Dawn. So I was kind of thinking about getting a female athlete in there, but Ernie Els, I was trying to keep 4 different sports as well. So
Yeah.
Could have thrown a Rocco in there just to.
I thought about Anthony Rizzo. I'll tell you that.
Rizzo,
but
yeah.
I already had Bert Blyleven, so I didn't want to reuse baseball.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was excellent job sussing that out.
Oh, if you would have used Sidney Crosby as Sid, Cookie
The
Monster.
Thrower? Is that the fish?
Cookie
Yeah.
Monster's real name is Sid.
Sid,
You could have
yeah.
went that way with it. Sid the Kid.
And
That would have been
yeah,
a bit.
was
That would have been a nasty bit of business, but that still would have been fun.
Yeah, there
All
was
right,
a lot of ways to go with that. That was excellent.
Does anybody else have anything they want to throw out there before we bring this thing to a close? It went a bit longer than normal, but hey, that's just more for you to listen to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went on for a while. Thank you again for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so we're going to get out of here. The fire's dying down. My brain is dying down. So for Gary, for Scott, for Greg, and for Matt, this is Dan, and we just want to let you know we're here to keep the bench warm, and we'll see you next year.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at BenchwarmersTP.